Hi everyone, in this week's Employee Spotlight series, I'm joined by Stephen Pearse, Head of Business Applications here at Aspira. Thank you for joining me here today, Stephen.
Thanks, Deirdre.
Stephen, you joined Aspira initially as a graduate back in 2013. How did that come about?
Yeah, I heard about Aspira through a family friend who was actually a client of Aspira's. He was a manager in McAfee, and they were delivering a project with Aspira's help. So he recommended them as a good place to get good variety of experience. The experience of kind of different client-facing projects and getting exposure to kind of new challenges and technologies. And he said it would be a great place to work. He was very impressed when he was working with them.
That's a great reference.
Yeah.
So then you travelled for a period, armed with the glowing reference from Aspira. How did you decide on Canada, and what was the experience like there? And I suppose, is the work culture very different to Ireland?
Yeah, so we chose to go to Canada. We chose to go to Vancouver. It was an easy decision to make. We visited friends over there, and we kind of fell in love with the city and the lifestyle over there. So this decision was a pretty easy one to make the jump to that particular city. The work culture was pretty different over there. It was a great place to work. I suppose the thing in particular, Canadians really value work-life balance, and that it's kind of put above everything else. They really have a different way of looking at things. They put a much higher emphasis on it than Irish working culture, I found. Like, people would work. They would be very strict with their working hours. They would start at a certain time. They'd finish at a certain time, and they'd enjoy their life outside of work. They wouldn't answer emails after hours and things like that. The bad habits that people get into. I suppose one of the things as well, like, people would often start very early. People would start 7 a.m., 6 a.m. so they could finish earlier and do more things in the evenings. And I think they had the benefit of the good weather as part of that as well. So it's easy to do more things than are here. But it was a little different than the standard 9 to half 5 that we do in Ireland. That was kind of maybe the key thing, the work-life balance over there.
Valuable lessons we can all learn from that. So 2020 then was a busy year for you. While we were all in lockdown, you came back to Ireland. You completed your project management diploma with MTU and delivered by Aspira, and rejoined the team here in Aspira.
Yeah, that was a very, very busy time. We managed to time things okay. We got in just before the pandemic. So we came back after our 2-year visa stay in Canada, decided we wanted to come back home. So when I came back, I got in touch with Aspira again, see if there's any opportunity for me to come back. They were happy for me to rejoin the fold, which was great. So they brought me back on board as a project manager on client projects. And as well, as part of that, when they brought me back on as part of professional development, they said it would be great if I could complete the diploma in MTU in project management, which we'd spoken about before, but I'd never made the time to do. So during the lockdown, I kicked that off. It was all done virtually. It was the first time it was done all virtually as well, which was, I think, a learning experience for everyone at the time. But it was great. It provided, not just professional development, but it was a great outlet, and it was actually quite a social thing as well, meeting lots of new people during lockdown and made some good friends out of it as well. So it was a great experience overall.
So in 2021, then you continued your career progression with Aspira by becoming Head of Business Applications. So what attracted you initially to that role?
Yeah, so I've always enjoyed working with technology, and I've always enjoyed working with development teams as well. In previous projects, I've always been a business analyst or a project manager, working with business users and technical users, and wearing lots of different hats. I kind of enjoy solving complex problems, and building solutions was always something I really enjoyed, like having a system that you can point at and say, that's what we've built, that's what we've delivered. It's always something that interests me professionally. And my interests outside of work have always been in technology as well. It's something that my entire life I've always been into. New computer parts and processors, new phones, new screen technologies, things like that. It's always something that's interested me. So it's always been there in the background in terms of where I'd like to go professionally and what areas I'd like to work in. So this role, it allows me to kind of manage and deliver technical projects, but it also, I suppose one of the key things about the role is it lets me build out the strategy in the direction of where we want to go, and kind of what technologies we'd like to focus on, what solutions we'd like to build, and build the team around that. So and Aspira gave me that flexibility to be able to drive that whatever way I want, which is a great opportunity.
And can you tell me a little bit more then about Aspira's BizApps offerings?
Yeah, so the business applications team, so our primary focus is low code and no code solutions. So we're a Microsoft Gold partner, so we primarily focus on Microsoft technologies. So we kind of build solutions for customers that we're able to like rapidly deploy. We can integrate with their existing systems, customize it to their needs. I suppose that's the key differentiator for us rather than just pure software development. So we focus primarily on four offerings that we work for our clients, which are PPM solutions and Project Online, data analytics solutions, primarily in Power BI, the Microsoft Power Platform for workflow automation and technology projects like that, and Dynamics 365 in the CRM space.
Okay. And being relatively new to the role, Stephen, you obviously have a very experienced BizApps teams already in place in Aspira. What do you hope to achieve for 2022?
Yeah, so I suppose for 2022, looking back at what we've done previously, we've really good experience in projects delivered for clients who operate under waterfall methodologies. But I suppose one of the things that we're noticing in terms of trends with clients and feedback from colleagues out, working on site in places, is a lot of our organizations have pivoted over to agile methodologies and deliveries in the last couple of years, and they're still encountering challenges as a result. And I think one of the key things that clients are having issues with is scaling up agile and managing a portfolio of agile projects is kind of a key challenge. Individual projects are okay, but once you scale up to hundreds of projects, it becomes quite hard to manage. So developing solutions in that space to kind of help deliver and manage and report on large-scale agile implementations is a focus for this year. I think it's something that we're working on at the moment. It's an offering that we'd like to develop out for our clients.
Excellent. Look forward to that. So what would you consider your biggest achievement to date, either professionally or personally?
I'll go with professional achievement. So as I mentioned, when I did the diploma in MTU, I came top of the class, which was great to do. And I suppose the crowning piece on that was that I got a piece of glassware as a prize, which is now for my mantelpiece. So that's the only trophy I currently own. So that was great to get that.
Very good. Congratulations. Stephen, thanks very much for joining me and taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks, Deirdre. Thanks so much.